Hey y'all, here we are today at the Oakwood Cemetery in Huntsville, Texas, and behind me we have the Sam Houston gravesite. So we're gonna go take a look at this cemetery, guys. There's a lot to look at. It's a pretty immense cemetery, and there's also a surprise off in the woods that was discovered, I'm not sure when, but definitely different than most cemeteries. So let's go take a look. All right, here we have the Texas historical marker for Sam Houston. This historical marker was erected in 1967. Here's one for the cemetery itself, which is Oakwood Cemetery, 1846. This is a wonderful cemetery. There's, like I said, a lot to look at. And a lot of them have fallen over. A lot of things over time. And of course, some are actually kind of buried as well. It's very interesting. We have some people here as well. Here is the Sam Houston grave. What an immense stone this is. Here we have for the monument itself, along with the death of Sam Houston. Oh, they have left him some goodies. They left him some cookies. I'm believing these are oysters. I don't eat those, so I'm not really sure. And maybe some tea, along with the flag. And like I said, there's so many different headstones in here. So many different markers. It's gorgeous. A lot of cedar trees, a lot of crepe myrtles. Off that way, there's just lines of crepe myrtles. And this one's quite interesting. You can tell a lot of them have been damaged over time. And as soon as we drove up, I did see that there was some metal markers that I was very interested in. This one, wow. 1801 it looks like. No. I'm very unsure. Wow. And looking at the headstones, kind of get an idea of what maybe you would want, what's gonna last in the next 100 years, what's it gonna look like? You know, the different stones, how it's gonna weather over time. And like I said, there's just so much to look at here. I think there's so many, just so many. And here's some more metal markers that we have right in here. Completely illegible. We have some Fosters over here. And these trees, y'all, we have to remember cedar trees take a long time to grow. And all these trees in the cemetery are just amazing. And here is the backside of Sam Houston's grave. Miss Margaret Lee Houston.
Convention that established the Grand Lodge of Texas.
Nice. So much is within here. Henderson-Yoakum. I feel like I could just zigzag back and forth everywhere in the cemetery. There's just so much. Henderson-Yoakum. Which right here we have Henderson-Yoakum. Huge monument. I mean, as you can see, it's kind of hard to tell. But in comparison, I mean, this booger is huge. Huge. As well as this one. Here we have a beautiful memorial for Carol. Let's see if we have a date on this. Does not appear that we have a date. I also see some right in here, and then it just looks like Sam L. something. See, it's terrible when you can't read the stone. And here we have Anthony Martin Branch. Okay. It's like they're just completely just packed out over there. Born in Switzerland. Wow. Here is a Masonic burial right here. It's very interesting. And then the wife on this side. It's crazy. It just keeps going and going. And we actually watched a video on the Sears headstones. And they say once you recognize one, you won't forget. You know, you'll just always remember. This is actually probably my favorite side of the cemetery. Because it's an older side. It's just amazing. This actually looks like it's got holes or debris on it. Here's another old Masonic one. But as I was saying about the Sears ones, I feel like this is one of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what they look like, at least from what I've seen. And this just looks interesting. This huge old cedar tree. This is as tall as I am. I have this one that is broken in half, and the rest of it is laying here. So sad when they break in half like that, and you just got to pick up the pieces, you know, like a lot of these completely broken from the backside. It's very, very sad to know that people come to the graveyards just to ruin the headstones. Not really sure what the intention or what the motive is or what good you feel from that. It's a terrible thing. And don't do it. Here's a beautiful, unusual flower. Never seen a flower like that before. And here we have some old graves as well, kind of tucked in to its own little fence area. As you can see, there was a cedar tree here at one point, which is now gone. Let's start over here. 1779. Jesus. 1875. 1867. And this is just terrible. Wow. That some of that is just so exposed. This looks like the Alston family. This is a gorgeous stone here. Beautiful. That is truly beautiful. So this is also Ophelia. And in this cemetery, there's actually a lot of historical markers next to the graves. Speaking of, right here. I just love the way that they engrave in that, because that's a lot easier to see. I mean, this is, 1907 this was erected. So here we have a Pleasant Williams Cottrell. Wow, a very young child. It always Hurts me to see the small children in the graves, but it's a very sad and unfortunate situation. Oh, almost got me. Where a lot of the children just did not make it. Very sad. Here we have another historical marker as well. The Reverend Thomas H. Ball. Wow, the top of this one has actually fallen off, and they've put it next to it, which to me is very symbolic. And I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. And as you can see, there is just massive cedar trees. It's gorgeous. As you can see, this one was put back together with some iron bolts just to keep it in place. And as you can see, all of these have cracked or been damaged a time or two. Some of the glue that they use actually eventually just weathers and it re-cracks. All right, here we have the unknown graves. A large number of sunken and unmarked graves were revealed in 2004 when this area was cleared of heavy underbrush. Yes, by some offenders here at the prison. As many of you know, Huntsville is full of prisons, so they actually discovered this. So let's go take a gander at that, y'all, because this is rather interesting. Just right off here, and as you can imagine, there was woods on both sides of this, so this was completely in the woods until they discovered what they had found. There are actually a few different markers in the cemetery. Most of these are actually, all of these are unmarked. And there are a few headstones here that do have names. So like here, Carrie Smith, May 9th, 1908. Molly Williams. And to think, these were back here. So why were they back here away from all of those? And I mean, 1908 and 1937? Unless, I don't know. I really don't know. But as you can see, there is a teddy bear and a flag over here on this one. So I wonder if some of these people actually know if it's their family or not. You know? Somebody loves you. Fun fact about these crosses, they were all made at the Walls unit. Interestingly enough, I'm kind of roaming around this side. They did ground penetrating tests to see, and they were able to tell how many bodies were out here. So they're all marked now, which is a wonderful thing. And like I said, some people have headstones, some people don't. Here's an elephant, which I've seen a few of the elephants over there. This one died 1910. Eileen Oliphant. Wow. Here we have another, few other ones, actually. This one's gonna be a little harder to tell. Goodness gracious. See, it's kind of easier to tell on the camera. So, y'all can probably see better than I can, because, oh yeah, a little swampy looking area back there. Let's see this one. Aurelia Jones. This looks like a different type of stone. We got a lot of coloring going on here. But 1917. Wow. See, we have some over here as well. Kind of off in the woods. Let's see. We have another one over here that's cracked. I like how it's kind of all in uniform lines with the crosses. Here is Robert Crawford. Died 1916. Here is some type of stone, probably indicating an old marker. They gave the ones that didn't have markers crosses. Let's see what this one is. And see, this looked like, like it was a possible stone. Maybe that's a foot marker. But this one, yeah, could be. 2004. Wow. I have a stick stuck in my shoe here. There we go. beautiful and elaborate, and I love this because I would love for, you know, my children to plant things at my grave. James Addison Baker. Just to think how much these cost back in the day. A lot of money. I love how this tree has grown in between these two. Wow. So you have the husband and the wife, and just perfectly in the middle, you have this gorgeous tree. Of course, over time, this tree is going to take over these graves, but I'm glad these two are together. And this one, believe we're actually making our way to the front of the cemetery again, which I do believe most of these we have seen. Like I said many times, there's so much to see. I just have to touch this.
That's Italian marble.
I think so. Is that so?
It's got the bluish.
Wow, Italian marble. Gorgeous. I love admiring the ornate details of every cemetery's fences. They're all so different, but so unique. So next time you go to a cemetery, an older cemetery, y'all, pay attention to the gates, the latches, the posts, and the designs of them. All right, y'all. Well, thanks so much for coming along on the cemetery tour. Like I'd mentioned, there's so many graves in here. It's such a vast cemetery. It's hard to view everything in one day and take in all of what you've seen. But thanks for coming along, enjoying this little bit of history with us. Bye, guys.